my food budget for the week, but I didn't really care. It was worth it. Besides, what else could I possibly ingest in New Orleans that would be better than the 2 feasts I'd had today? Oh yeah, Molly. Finally, Stormy texted me and we made a plan for the next night. I could relax and get a full-bellied night of shut-eye. I just had to keep it together the next day so I could be on point when I hung out with Stormy. I swore I wouldn't get drunk. The next morning, the New Amsterdam rep met Rachel, Sean, and I at the hotel where we were whisked away to a huge house in the French Quarter rented by Diplomatico Rum out of Venezuela. The owners and master distiller were there giving us a presentation on how they made the rum. And feeding us rum, but more importantly, giving us fresh fruit and shrimp while offering us the services of their hired massage therapist and manicurist. Bet your ass I've recommended their brand at least 4 times. I still use the sleep mask with the cool gel pack inside. I was standing outside on the second-story gallery when I got another text from Stormy saying a bunch of stuff came up and that we'd have to reschedule for the next night. Looks like I was all clear to get smashed. I grabbed one of those plastic yard glasses with a frozen pina colada in it and trudged through the humidity to the Hotel Monteleone. It was there where my inebriation started making me paranoid. I felt all the tales of the cocktail nerds attending tastings and bar tool expos were eyeballing my frozen drink, then me, like I was walking around my fly open. Then suddenly, I began to think that my long plastic cup looked like a cock and balls in my hand. It had the long shaft, a rounded bottom, and I was convinced that's what everyone was thinking. See, drinking isn't for me. What was I doing in an international gathering of high-end liquor brands holding a frozen pina colada by the shaft? I ditched it into some trash and found a bourbon tasting. Then, a rye tasting. Followed by a tequila tasting. Followed by a mezcal tasting. I was fucking loaded and was really getting turned off by the commotion of bartenders trying to network and really wanted a frozen hurricane. I also would have taken some attractive women to talk to, but to loosely quote Johnny V, Tales of the Cocktail is a bunch of nerdy dudes in high school who grabbed onto booze as their identity and formed cliques for some kind of social acceptance. If you want to meet a girl, you got to focus on the brand interns who eventually get promoted and remind you annually of your sedentary position. End quote. In other words, it was time to go back to the hotel. There weren't chicks anywhere. But then I ran into Flannery, and he had a great Aperol and Campari tasting that we just had to attend. Great. Campari would go nicely in my churning guts with all the bourbon, rum, tequila, and mezcal I'd chugged so far. Miraculously, it was in the bar where he first found me and my potential connect was behind the stick. That's where I had the surprisingly delicious and refreshing Garibaldi cocktail about 3 times, then blacked out. I woke up face down in my room and unrested 4 hours later to a text from Stormy. She had finished up organizing her costume party fundraiser for a local charity and had the night cleared. I also had a text from Rachel. She had received her package. I also had a swag compact mirror from Aperol open with a ton of blow crushed on it sitting on my nightstand. What the fuck happened? It didn't matter. It was sexy time. I rallied, did the rest of what was on that mirror, showered, and didn't fall. I was good to go. I met up with Sean, who handed me the book. I took the bag of Molly and gave him the book back. Dude, you wrote a book? He asked. Solid C+, I said. What's the plan tonight? He asked as I dashed a rollable amount of Molly crystals into his palm for securing my package. I'll text you. I gotta go meet someone, I said, and with that, I headed out to meet Stormy. I took a little bit of Molly to get a little loose and feel something other than drunk. I wasn't rolling. I was nice. I couldn't wait to see her. Finally. I loved hanging out with her. She's so spontaneous, fun, smart, funny, and oh yeah, fucking hot. After a year, tonight, we would finally consummate our relationship in a physical expression of love. Yeah, right. I am such an idiot. It's not that a year had passed. It's not even that she obviously wasn't feeling me the way I was feeling her. I couldn't even work on getting it back to that point. It was because of Dwayne. Dwayne was a monkey wrench cockblocker in the form of a tattooed security and tour manager that was attached to her hip in between her and I at all times. Dwayne wasn't in Denver with Stormy's security detail when we first met and had no idea who the fuck I was, so he spent all night watching us talk, sizing me up, clocking me every time I tried to put my arm around her, and basically chaperoning us like a dad. It was actually hysterical, and I'll post a pic of him mad-dogging me on the Behind Bars Facebook page so you guys can see how intense this dude was. Oh my god. Realizing we weren't going to get naked, I cut my losses and texted Sean to meet up with us at the Cat's Meow karaoke bar. I was at least going to belt some Panama by Van Halen, as I had been taking more Molly throughout the evening, and my priorities became more fluid. Sean showed up, absolutely gone. Rolling fucking face. Hard. He began to give me a back massage as I shot shit with Dwayne and Stormy while pretending this was normal for him and that no one should be worried. Everyone knew he was loaded, so it didn't seem that weird. Then he started massaging Stormy, who hadn't taken anything besides a couple drinks, and Dwayne didn't even care. What the fuck? Could I have been touching her and giving her a back rub all this time? Sean was. He was stretching and massaging her arm, finishing with a finger and palm massage, and moved on to Dwayne, who respectfully declined with a, "I'm good, dude." We laughed our asses off and bonded right then and there. Quick note, now as I record this, I must tell you I consider Dwayne to be a true friend, and I genuinely love the guy. He managed the tour we took that fall, and we got along famously. He's a gifted musician and producer, and has helped me produce another podcast I will be bringing to your eardrums soon, so stay tuned. But yeah, that beginning was a bit rocky. I got up to sing Panama, and Sean joined me on the stage uninvited, but what can you do with a 6'2", 220-pound rolling puppy? Let him sing with you is what you can do. After the song, we hung out for more drinks, but it was getting late, like 3:30 a.m. late, and Sean was now smashed and taking pictures of us, which isn't cool. But I'm glad, because now I have that pic of Dwayne mad-dogging me. After Sean slid out of his bar stool and pulled onto the floor, the bartender let us know it was time to leave. I braced my back and quads and somehow shouldered Sean's big frame against me and walked him outside. I got an Uber for him, and when the driver saw him, he goes, "No way, man, sorry," and drove off. Dick, but I got it. All of a sudden, a black SUV pulled up, and the driver said through the window, "I got him, man. Where are you going?" "How much to get him to the Le Meridian?" I said. $10, he said. "Here's 20, I said, and opened the back door, poured Sean across the seats, and then lifted and folded his legs so I could shut the door, and he was off. "Was that an Uber?" Stormy asked. "Shit, it wasn't." "Wasn't a taxi," Dwayne pointed out. "No, it wasn't, was it?" I agreed. We'll see what happens in the morning. We hung out on the sidewalk for another 20 minutes, then decided to call it after agreeing to meet up in Denver next time she was in town. Hugs and handshakes went around, and it was time to head back to see if I had helped a serial killer abduct my friend. Turns out I hadn't, but Rachel had a hell of a time getting him back to the room. Whew. I guess I was still having some good luck working in my favor, although instead of amazing sex with my dream girl, it was wasted on keeping my friend out of a locked box in a psychopath's basement kill room. Anyway, and that, my friends, was Tales of the Cocktail. Nerdy booze dudes getting drunk and Greg not getting laid. Anticlimactic much? I got to the airport the next afternoon and boarded the plane. Had to check to see if life was back to normal or if my good luck streak had ended. Yup, no yellow stripe on my tray table. Shit. Here we go again. Well, it's last call, so let me give you a tip. Guys, we're in a fucking pandemic. Hunting season is over. Stay at your own damn table. They don't want to talk to you anyway. Folks, it's been a blast. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And a call to my fellow booze slingers. Send in your stories to cockedtalesandwastednights@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. Thanks for listening, subscribing, downloading, and spreading the word. And if you haven't checked out my video, just close it. Check it out on YouTube. And if you'd like to support, check out Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights on Patreon. We'll see you next week on Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. Cheers!